Hey guys, welcome back to Raptor's Garage. We've got the bandsaw going. We're cutting some 40mm box sections because it's time to build a tray back for this LongRanger converted cab Discovery 1 Land Rover.
Dodgy. Right, camera's on. Be quiet. Don't let them know.
Okay, shush. Shh. So we had important decisions to make, guys. So we've gone from coffee and rum now onto the bombardier.
Yeah. So we've had we've had beer, we've had rum,
and we want beer.
We've had coffee with whipped cream and rum.
And yeah, like Christmas.
Yeah, and now
we've got snowing outside. That's the Raptor's Garage weather report. So we've just had the bandsaw going for the last 45 minutes, chopping all these pieces. It's a slow process, but it gets lovely angles, which is much more.
Yeah, it's not the quickest bandsaw in the world, but it does get there.
It gets everything. So basically, what we've got is at the moment we're laying out the tray, get an idea of the size of tray we want. I'm shooting outside because what we ideally want to do is we're going to build 2 trays for the discos that are going to take the canopy with the roof tent attached to the actual canopy, the box. But I want to be able to use that same box and canopy.
Can I just say something? Not only are not 2 Land Rovers the same, neither is an
L200. They're completely different.
And you want to make it the same, right? Okay, right. Back to building.
So we think we can do it. We think we can basically build
one universal canopy.
A universal canopy, and the same thing we want to do is take that universal canopy that comes off and it will go onto our Sanctuary trailer.
Yeah.
So if grey worm's going off on
that's universal canopy.
Completely universal. So grey worm can hitch up that if we're going off to competitions, have a trialling days, or just going off a jolly. We've basically still got a complete standalone camper unit being pulled on the trailer. So we're just going to shoot the breeze now and try and
make this
where this is all going.
And this isn't going where it's actually sitting at the moment.
Yeah, height-wise, we've looked at the travel on the rear wheels, based on obviously our bump stops, and we're talking this swage line here, isn't it? Is the height?
Yeah, that one.
So that's going to be the height. We're going to put a headache bar in, because some people have asked about protection. We're going to stick this 2-inch boxed headache bar, which is going to come up straight from here. This is obviously going to be fixed to the chassis, coming up here, and then follow the line up to here and across, and then our canopy will follow the same kind of line, won't it?
Yeah.
We're going to put bends in the door. I would like on the L200, the first version, everything was square. We are going to add some bends in, because this time we're going to follow the lines of the disco to keep that kind of shape to it.
And we like a challenge.
And I've been talking with Paul about debating, do we offset the spare wheel on the back to one side so it follows the traditional Discovery look, which even the new disco did, even though it looks awful. But do we do a better job of following?
It could be done. Like I said, I had that discussion yesterday with my brother. Do we offset it to keep the original
wheel on one side and then farm jack, jerry can, or whatever on the other side?
If we put the wheel on one side, we could probably get away with 1 jerry can, because we don't really need 2.
Okay, we've got 1 each, and we've always it's
we've got
much bigger tanks than I ever had.
Yeah, a big enough fuel tank. 1 jerry can will get you out, and then you could put a ladder up.
Yeah, and then you can really keep the arm.
Yeah. Make an aluminium ladder.
Yeah.
Over the jerry can.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. And it really does start.
Then you don't need to carry an extra ladder with you to get up to the roof tent.
I think I'd still carry that collapsible one for a bigger.
Well, it might be useful
very handy for jumping up to do anything from getting your waffle boards off and anything you've got on the roof, wouldn't it? And just
polishing the solar panel.
Polishing, yeah. Thanks to honestly, your name slipped my mind, but you send us emails from Australia, and you've got such an awesome collection of vehicles over there. I am going to reply to your latest email. I might have already done it by the time you see this video, but yeah, we're definitely going to put solar panels on the top.
Yeah, I'd already had a word with Karen about it, and we both decided it's got to be done. It's the way forward.
And it's everything now. Like I said, it's a lot lower. We're a lot less likely to get damages from trees and stuff that we do.
And plus, if we're going to do that sort of crap, we can take the canopy off.
Yeah.
Woo!
So that's another reason we want this straight edge here on the box, so that we've got somewhere to put the legs, so that we can 4 legs, drive out from underneath, off we go, and do some crazy stuff.
Wow, that's big, isn't it?
It is big when it's, but that works absolutely bloody perfect. That distance here, I think.
Yeah. Oh, it works. I know.
It comes at a centimetre, just enough when you bash it.
Just straight on top.
You're not bashing the bloody what's it? Yeah.
Wow, that's a big tray, but the tyres come out that far. You don't realise, do you? I mean, that isn't even...
No, it's not really that much wider than the actual vehicle. It
isn't even wider than the front arches.
Massive storage area.
I mean, literally, you won't be able to reach the middle.
But it's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can't stick the wheel. Can we stick the wheels on? Just jack it up and put the wheels on so we get an idea.
Springs?
No, but not actually put any weight on it. Just jack that up and just put the wheels.
Not easily, no.
No.
We need to set it for level anyway before we do any welding, but that is going to be big, but not overly big. But literally, you cannot. Once the what's it, you will only.
Well, you can definitely put a partition in because you don't.
Yeah, I know that. But literally, you can only just reach there.
You're gonna have.
Well,
but saying that, if you leave it open bit, you've got the bit for the long shit that when you've got poles or.
I know this is your tyre.
That's yours, isn't it?
No, that's mine. That's mine.
Mine's the bigger looking one. I can't understand. I keep looking at 2 tyres going. Why is one bigger than the other? That's in line with the face of the hub with the 32 negative offset. You just forget how wide this truck is. I know it's going to be further forward. It'd be nice there, but it would not corner. No, it'd be like
it'd be on a boat like mine.
It's just, well, I don't know, is it? I mean, when you used to park your vehicle in there, you struggled to walk around the back once the tyre was on it.
Yeah.
So
because the tyres are massive.
Yeah. That's what you get used to seeing it so short and stumpy.
We've seen it for so long as just a skinny chassis. We forget how big.
The canopy is only coming to here. This is, the only thing I said, you aesthetically, I said about maybe angling the tray in. So build the tray to here, and then or.
You need to, because you're only talking that much at the end of the day. If I'm hitting something there, it's too late. I've already hit it up here.
But you're not damaging canopy, you're hitting the train. That's not.
Well, there's going to be a tree bar there anyway, isn't there? So I'm only rubbing down the tree rubbers, and you ain't bending that stuff.
No.
That stuff takes like 4 tons to bend.
What's this? It's 50 mil.
50 by 3. 2 inch by 2 inch by 3 mil thick.
Yeah.
And we need some uprights and some cross braces. What have we got lying over there? What have we got that's big enough? That's going to come. It doesn't matter that it's there and it staggers out.
No,
because it's braced.
It's here, isn't it? See, it's not long enough. Unless you change the angle on it.
No, we can bring it all the way up. We'll get tied in. But we've got loads and loads of that other 3 mil bar.
Yeah.
That's all 3 mil thick, but it's not. It's 25 by 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
So if we do 2 over the chassis,
length, yeah.
then we can put the legs on.
Yeah.
Then we can brace it all together, tie everything in.
Brace legs on the chassis, come out a couple of times.
So if we weld them on the bottom side, so on this side, it still gives us room to get the tabs, because that's 20 or 25? That's 50 by 25, isn't it? So
it's exactly the same width as this.
yeah, but if we use the 20 by 20 angle to do the step, gives us 5 mil. So literally we could sit it in.
Sit this in is where your lip's going to go.
Yeah.
And then you've got it will sit on that, perfect. It will sit on the edge, perfect.
Yeah.
You can run your lip up then to each of them.
So we've got enough metal. Hey, we clear some of the metal up. How much more have we got? We've got some aluminium. That flipped over, whatever height we want the, say if we use 3 mil, we've got 5, hang on.
Well, I was wondering when we do it. I was wondering, so you actually do this so that
but we
thing
don't
sits on this, because then you've got the support all the way along the middle and all around the outside. So however you're putting that in.
So we've got to set that. We've got to work out that we're going to use whatever thickness of
3 mil
aluminium.
checker plate, clamp a piece of 3 mil checker plate, so that with your 3 mil checker plate, that's flush with the top.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can do that.
Because then you've also got support down the middle,
Yeah.
all around the edges, haven't you, for when you sit it in there.
Because literally we need to tack this together and then put that in, don't we? And just loosely tack everything together, drop it in, cut the legs, then get it level. That's not awkward.
Well, no, not this getting this level, just actually making sure when we weld these, they're not like that or like this or anything.
That's all right. We can do that because we'll just tack it. So if anything looks pissed if we get the chassis level, we can then level. As long as we know that point to that point's level when we go across.
Jimmy Mama,
Hiya.
Just watch
Jimmy
me.
Mama brings food.
Oh God,
Hang on, it's all
right.
Hang on, come this way.
The video's still on, as we can see.
It is.
How well looked after we are.
It is still running.
Oh,
I'd say we were looked after doing the
I'm
passengers'
sorry.
bathroom, and we're always looked after when we're here. Oh, Jimmy Mama.
Yeah.
Paul's not eating now, is he on a diet?
No, he's on a diet.
Yeah, well, that's-
Well, you're going to tea soon, so there you go, haven't you?
That's how big the tray is and how wide it is.
Oh wow.
It's not as big, it looks massive, but when you actually start looking at the whole vehicle, it's not
No.
that big. Because obviously the original came back to here anyway. The rear door would have been here. And this bit is just, the actual canopy is going to finish here. This part of the tray is going to be on the spare wheels sat on the back. It's got some support underneath it.
Oh.
Done, perfect. Absolutely bob on. That's bob on level.
Perfect.
That's all saying if whoever welded what's it's not got it right. We'll have to just level the back up to what we want.
Yeah, we're going to...
I can check the door seams though, can't I? To keep the
Well,
line running.
I thought we did that. That's what
Yeah,
we
but it's sunk. It's sunk since then, hasn't it? So
Yeah,
these should still be level. And they are. So if we continue that line from...
Well, in other words, we make that tray level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once we get that in, we can get it level with the body,
Yeah.
both sides.
Yeah.
God, it's like we knew what we were doing. I found my beer. Woo, beer. So
Let's do a corner.
tack weld one corner. Right, I'll get the welder out.
Well, why don't we just do these 2 bits on the top? Because they're all identical bits, aren't they? So it doesn't matter which
Well,
one's
it doesn't
which.
matter which is which as long as they're square.
So I'm thinking that bit, so then otherwise you can't lift that bit because someone else is going to fall off.
Right, so magnetic clamp, set the framing square, and a welder, and a bigger workshop,
Yeah.
and some warmer weather.
Well, we've got a fleet of 4 vehicles now, haven't we? Plus 2 sand rails to add to it.
Did you tell Ange would have his hand right?
Yeah, she was not impressed. She said, you need to get these. She said, me and Karen were discussing this on Sunday. That you two need to get at least one of these cars finished so we can start actually having some holidays.
Yep, right. If I run a beader weld on the top, gives us adjustment that way if we need to,
Yeah.
to square it all up. So I'll tack them together with a beader weld on the top of them,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much it, isn't it? Just keep tacking and going. Just don't weld it together under the truck so we can't get it out.
It should lift over. Yeah, but yeah. Oh, bollocks.
Actually, we could do that, couldn't we? Just flip it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's alright because this wheel's imaginary, isn't it? It's not a real
The
wheel.
wheel is imaginary.
It's an imaginary wheel.
It's a Jumanji wheel. And,
People getting back to it.
pull. See, we didn't fuck up completely.
Right, not completely.
We may have fucked up. To you.
No, it is.
Yeah, it
all the
does.
way to me, aren't we?
Yeah.
Is this empty?
Hang on. Yeah.
It's gone wrong!
Damn.
Damn, girl.
Yeah, that fits flush both sides. Now you may be thinking, guys, this looks absolutely massive right now, but we know that it isn't. That's going to look good.
Well, yeah, it's basically like, guys, the rear door of the disco comes to
There.
there, isn't it? The end of the chassis.
No, it doesn't. Rear door comes further in.
So it's about there.
No, because you've got to get where those bolt holes are now.
Yeah.
That's where the body finishes, because the bumper covers that.
Right. So there.
No,
That's the door.
no, come back one. There.
Yep.
Those
That's the door.
holes. Yeah.
This is going to be our canopy. And this is just going to basically be a flat tray. The reason for the flat tray is that obviously the disco would have the wheel mounted on the door sticking out. We're going to sit it on the tray and have it attached to the canopy so that we're taking a lot of the weight, because obviously these wheels are a lot bigger than they have on a standard disco. And as you know, all the hinges always get knackered up trying to support larger wheels.
It makes you think how narrow the chassis is in the middle though, doesn't it?
Well, you look at mine's even narrow, isn't it, on the L200?
Isn't yours outboard though? Yours is
Yeah,
outboard
so
with the
is it?
spring six
Yeah, it's
wider.
wider.
Yeah.
This one, yeah.
And these are all made with inboard with the
Mm.
springs on the outer. Yours is outboard with the springs on the inner.
Well, the leaf springs, aren't they? But the
Yeah.
shocks on you,
Yeah.
So again, guys, yeah, the height of this is going to be up here, but we can support it there, but it's going to be up here. This whole thing's going to come. So isn't actually a lot bigger. It looks big when you look at it here, but when you then look at the overall vehicle, it doesn't look as big. But it's a huge amount of space. We've suddenly, again, going back, you'd have two sets of seats in here, plus you'd have all the space in the rear.
Discos, you struggle for space in discos. That's why I decided to cut it.
This is no
I
reasonable
always
space.
struggled for space in mine,
Mm.
and ain't going to struggle for space now.
You have a
I'm moving in.
complete working kitchen area here. You have a complete working whatever storage and
An
everything.
upstairs,
on
a
the side.
downstairs, a jacuzzi.
Mm.
Yeah, we've got it all planned. I think. No, maybe not. Right, come on, let's get this done. We're talking, we're waffling.
Right.
Hang on, I'm stuck in the wall. Camera off the door.
Cameras.
Yeah.
Got it right first time.
Just not right the second time. That's what happens when you build such a big tray.
Took some big time on guard.
We knew what we were doing! That's like we knew where our tape measure worked.
So, what we did, guys, when we were doing that is we've sat that. So when we basically we checker plate this, we're going to put a 20mm lip all the way around. We'll sit it. So this is sitting flush. If you can even see me, I don't know.
I'll go and sort the camera out.
Yeah, what I was saying, guys, is we've just welded these pieces here in so that this is 4mm checker plate. Because the plan is to basically checker plate with 4mm all of this. We're going to run a 20mm bit of angle all the way here around the inside, so that basically it's going to sit flush with this outside bit, so that if we're putting the canopy off and on, backing in, backing out, anything like that, we're not going to risk catching things, pulling up corners, anything like that. We're going to basically just hit this rounded edge and sit on top of that. So basically we apparently can get a piece of checker plate cut to size. If we special order, we don't have to have your standard 2,400 by. Well, it looks quite high. It's as it happens here, guys. That end one doesn't look like it's.
I think it's just the way it's sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just up on one side.
But yeah, this is the part one done. So now we're going to start sinking some legs in to raise this thing to the right height and get it flush with our line of the vehicle we want.
Well, we need to get that level,
Yeah.
and then get a measurement. Don't worry about those ones yet. If we can get this, if we can get that to that line, Chris,
Yeah.
if we can get that to, we're not that
far off.
Do we go to the edge of the set, this piece in the centre, or do we go to the bottom edge?
Bottom of it, I think. So,
Bottom edge.
Yeah, go to the
Right,
bottom
so we
edge
need
of
to
that.
come up 30 mil.
Yeah. So we do that by just moving those things
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
These
And
are
then we can check it for level, then we can get a measurement.
yeah, these are very stable.
Yeah. If we can get, that way, level, we can get a measurement, and we can cut 2 bits, tack them in, and then we can actually just prop the back up and do the
These
back.
2 bits almost work, don't they? If you
They'll work
move
if we can
to
get them the right
height.
length.
Right length. Right, where's the level here? Welcome back to Raptor's Garage as we enjoy afternoon tea. Who am I kidding? It's coffee.
But there's no rum in it.
There's no rum in it. But that's
Karen
what
got it
Karen
wrong.
made it. She's not been sorted yet, has she? Guys, this is it. We've got it now sat at the height that it's going to be sitting at, based on making sure that we don't interfere with tyre travel or anything like that. These are fixed. Everything's kind of spot welded. We've just spot welded it to the chassis. Paul's choking on a cream tea biscuit. It's very posh like that. We spaced it off with some 20mm space, little bits of metal just to space it away from the cab. So everything is absolutely level. I mean, anyone would think we've done this before, because we pulled it together pretty well to get it spot on level. The vehicle's level, the tray is now level. So now we've got this level, our next step is to work on this headache bar. So again, using this 2-inch 3mm wall box section, and we're basically going to come up to around about here, again in line with this kind of swage line, and then we want to taper it in and follow the line up here. So basically it travels just above the top of the roof, because again our canopy is then going to come flush with that, and the roof tent is going to be attached to the canopy, which is going to basically the final bit of the roof tent coming over the top of the cab there. So it's all looking pretty damn cool. Now you would have watched a video previously of us fitting this roof. That would have been a good few days ago. We're filming this on the same day, hence the reason you're seeing it exactly as it was when you watched that previous video. But by the time we get all this made tomorrow, once this roof is glued down, Paul will be sticking it down, and you'll see all of that result in a future video.
Right guys, I've been left to my own devices in the workshop. Chris has gone home for some tea. So let me just bring you up to speed with what's happening. This is going to be the rollover bar, which is going up over the back of the truck, because this is a fiberglass cab. At the moment I've just put some pie cuts in it, and it was just tacked on just for test fitting. Obviously it's way too long at the moment, but this is going to get seam welded to here, and then from here is 2 bars going to go down, same thickness tube, down into the chassis. So this roll bar will be tied to the chassis. So it's going to be plenty strong enough. I mean, that's 3mm wall, 50x50 box, and then a bracer coming off that, going down to the chassis, all tied in. Strong as you like, that is. Now, I've got a day off work and half the day's gone because I've been running around fetching steel. Now, what I want to do today is actually just finish cutting all the metal and getting all the welding done. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a quick once over, a look at this. I'm just going to get the saw out, I'm going to cut all the metal, and then I'll come back and show you when all the bits are welded in, because it's really difficult to weld and film all at the same time when you're on your own. So without further ado, let me show you what we've actually done. Now, as you'll have seen from Saturday's video, we got all the tray welded up. Well, it isn't welded up, it's tacked together. Literally, if we hit this too hard, it would fall apart. Now, I got the rollover bar in. Now, I've got to weld a cross bracer in, because I just want... This isn't like a high-speed rollover bar that you'd have in a race car. This is like... It's 3mm steel by 50 by 50. It's like, if you flop the truck over onto its side, this is here to protect you, basically, nothing else. It'll stop you crushing the fiberglass and all the other bits. So it's not a high-speed rollover bar, it's just a rollover bar. But it's still, it's going to be tied into the chassis. That's one of the first jobs I've got to do today is down here, just out of shot. Oh, you can just about see where my hand is. I've got to tie a crossbar, like an outrigger, into the chassis, and then the cross beam into that. That's done. I've got to put in... Now this is for the water tank. I've got to weld this frame in. I've got to put it on, I think, a 20mm riser, so we can get the cables and the fuel pipes underneath it without causing any issues. So that's another job. I've just got to cut the metal for that. And then a bit further back, I've got to put, yeah, you can just about see that. I've got to put an outrigger in here. So basically up off the, just move you that camera so you can see what I'm pointing, guys. Hang on. So just off the chassis here, that's that water tank bracket falling over. Just off the chassis here, I've got to come up with a bar. There's going to be another bar here, and I've got to come up with a bar to tie these corners in, because otherwise there's nothing holding this corner in. So that's the bulk of the work I've got to do, and anything else I find in between. Now, just here across the back, I've got to put a frame in. Literally, it's going to be an angled frame coming down from there, coming across here and up the other side. Basically, I've got to have somewhere for the number plate and the lights. So that's just going to have a frame put in for the lights. And that's it, that's all I've got to do. So not that much, really, in the great scheme of things. Like I say, and anything else I can think of while I'm doing it. But yeah, I'm going to crack on with that, and I'll put the camera on periodically as I get things done, guys. Well, well, nearly 5 hours of cutting and welding does for you. Absolutely nothing. It looks pretty much the same. Now I'm actually getting there. I've nearly finished cutting all the bits. I'm starting to get the bracer parts in. Let's come round here. Right, well, that's where my number plate and rear lights are going. I've got this nice box section angled piece going in the back. These bracers, like I said, going down to the chassis, going one way. They're not yet tied on because we still need to lift this off to do the back welding on everything, and I need to make some feet to go on this piece here, because obviously it has too big a gap in it to actually weld. I've got the front pieces cut. Let me just grab one of these. Oh, right now. These are heavy. Right. That's going from the roll cage there to the chassis. So the roll cage is tied in. And then I've got that piece that does the diagonal across there. So I'm getting there. It's just slow going getting all these angles sorted. But it's starting to come together now. Getting there slowly. Quite like that back. I know you can't really get... No, there you go, you get a good angle of it there. That's going to look nice with the lights in and then The light's going to be recessed at the back, sort of just sort of Frenched in there. A number plate in the middle. Got enough room to get to the control. You know, I forget what it's called, the brake release on the winch. What's going in that tray. So definitely getting there. Right, back to welding, back to cutting. No, we haven't just cut back to an old scene. What I've actually done is we've actually taken the frame off. Now, like I said, it was just tack welded, so we've untack welded it. The only bits that are actually in are those two outriggers there. They're actually welded to the chassis. So they're in because I wanted them for alignment for putting it back on. And there's the frame up against the wall over there, ready to be back welded. Oh, sorry about that. Now, I've just picked that up. Me and Lloyd have just lifted it off, but I've just picked that frame up. And I think it's around about 120 kilos. Yeah, as I was just saying, I reckon it's around about 120 kilos. So I've just picked it up, clear of the floor with not too much effort. It's awkward because it's all unbalanced. But, you know, if I can pick it up, I'm not the strongest guy in the world. I can lift it off the ground. It's not like super heavy, just awkward and unwieldy. So somewhere between 120 and 150 it weighs. So I'm pretty happy with that. So what I'm going to do now is grind these welds up at the bottom because I'm obviously welding those outriggers to it. Back welding all the bits that I can't get to. So all these bits, all these, everything that's on the underside, so I'm not lying on the floor doing it. Then I've just got to weld 1, 2, 3, 4 plates to the top of the chassis. And it's pretty much ready to go on permanently. So we're getting there. It's not going to take me many minutes to weld it up, so I better get it done. Wow, it's getting there. It's back on again, as you can now tell. It's been off. I've back welded everything. I've done all the grinding on the backside that I need to do, and I'm now attaching it. So it's partially attached to the truck. I've just got to weld the two rear supports on. Water tank carriers in, frame for that's in, so the water tank will go in there. That's great. Done it so that we can actually unbolt the water tank, unbolt it and actually slide the tank out if we need to. You'd have to take the wheel off, but you can get the tank out. So that's quite cool. And if you actually look, that isn't level. There's a reason for that, because when the truck's back on its wheels, the truck won't be level, but the tank will be. That's the theory. We'll see. But because I want the water to run to, I think it's going to be this end, because that's the way the vehicle's going to sit. Because at the moment it's dead level, the chassis is level, everything's level. So when we put the wheels on, it should be like 2 inches higher at the back than it is at the front. So my theory is that'll be correct. So I've just got to weld these tie bars into the roll cage. That's in. I reckon another hour's worth of welding, and then go around with the flap disc, take off, because the only bits I'm rounding are like these face bits, anywhere where you can snag yourself, corners and stuff. Not bothered anywhere else because you won't be able to see it. Leave the metal on, it makes the weld a bit stronger. The only thing I'm short of is 20 by 20 mil angle. That far side is basically it's the lip for the checker plate to sit on, and I've run out. I'm 5 meters short. I'll go and get that in the morning now. It's already after 2 o'clock, so I'm not going to brave the afternoon traffic. But like I said, it's dead level. Only problem with a magnetic spirit level, it collects everything. Awesome. But yeah, it's even level that way. That's good. So it's a fair bit of fabric cobbling, and I've got to put the tree sliders. I've got to go on this as well. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to try and get those out there wedged really tight. I'll get them out in a minute. My spacers have got wedged in there while everything's been welded. Cool. Right, back to welding for me. Well, that's it. I was going to say all the welding's done, but it actually isn't. There's still the metal that I'm short of to put in. But wow, looks awesome! Tell you what, guys, it ain't gonna move. There's that's going really well. I've softened up all the edges that I was going to soften up, like the ones on that corner there, but everything's tied in now. There's like I say, the bits I'm short of. Let me take you around, I'll show you. I'm short of this 20mm by 20mm angle to go, basically it's got to go along here and down the other side. Basically that's the lip just for where the checker plate's going to sit. I'm going to see if they can actually get me a one-off piece of checker plate cut in that size. Forget what it's going to be off the top of my head. 1500 by 1700. See if they can get me a one-off piece cut so there's no joins in it, because it'd be nice in one sheet. I've designed it to go in one sheet, so I'm hoping they can get it. Water tank brackets are in, brake pipes are back in. So basically I have a tray. Now I've got to do some tree sliders. Right guys, I've never used this pipe. Well, I've not properly used it. Chris always does this, not me. So this will be the first bend I've done. I've just released the pressure, I'm just taking it back up because it just wasn't quite far enough. So I'm just going to give it a couple of extra, because what happens is this bending tube, when you bend it, it always springs back a little, so you always want to go more than you thought. I'm just looking at my gauge at the other end. One more. Yeah, one more for good luck. There we go. I'm after a 90-degree bend. I can see both ends, so this gives me a good idea of where everything's going to be. That's just beyond 90. That's just what I want. So do one more. There we go. Because I know how much it springs back. It's a big one. You know what that is? That's a perfect 90-degree bend. Now the only thing I find with them is that the actual former gets stuck. So I use a block of wood and a hammer just to knock it off, because they are cast. If you try hitting them with anything, they will shatter. You just get a hammer and a block of wood. The only downside to them is they always leave that little dent there because this pipe's really thick. But the bend's perfect. It's 90 degrees. Cut that off flush. Job good. You know, it's. I forget what this was. It was bugger all off eBay. It was under 40 quid, I think. But for for the amount of times we've actually used it, and for the amount of time you actually ever need a pipe bender, this is brilliant. I mean, look at that. That's perfect. Perfect 90 degree. So bar that dent that it always puts in on that side. That one don't care because we're cutting it off, but I can live with that. So right, I'll do the other side now. I'll have to try and get it right. Oh, what a long day. I started at 7 o'clock this morning. It's about 7 o'clock at night now, so I've been in here pretty much all day bar running out to get some grinding discs. But steel's all bent. Let me just show you these. Oh. They've just got to be cut down to the right length now, but they are both perfect. Karen came in and helped me, that's why they're right. But that's the only thing I don't like about that roller, is that it puts that dent in. But it's one of them, you have to live with it. But it does a really good bend on the metal, so happy with that. Now what am I got to do tomorrow? I've got to weld those on, so that's my first job in the morning, chop them down, weld them on. All done, guys. Roof is all on and bonded. I'll show you that tomorrow when I've had a chance to clean it, because it's covered in grinding dust at the moment. But yeah, the roof's all glued on. Absolutely solid. Love that bit of kit. It's absolutely awesome. It's if you're thinking of building a pickup, you know, definitely look at the LongRanger stuff. I've been looking out for a few years, and yeah, now I've got one. I'm really happy. But yeah, so back to what I was doing was I've got to get a coat of paint on this tomorrow, get it all degreased, get a coat of primer on it. We want to paint this on Saturday, so we want to Raptor line it. So I had a big change on the colours. Just make sure my mic's on how it is. There you go. Have you ever seen me looking around the corner like that, guys? It's just to check my monitor to make sure my mic's on. What was I saying? Yeah. Saturday, we want to get this painted on Saturday, get it Raptor lined. I had a change of heart with the colours again. We were going to use the orange on this, and then I welded this in, and now I can't be bothered. So it's going black roof, black sides, black back, black steel, black tubes, black chassis. Basically it's going black, and then we're going to build the canopy. That is going to make it stand out. I was talking to Chris today about canopy, and we pretty much know what we're doing and how that's going to go. It's going to look cool. It's going to be full aluminium as well. It's all going to be TIG welded aluminium, so it's going to be a nice piece of kit. So right, I'm going to turn the camera off, and I'll see you guys in the morning. 8:30 in the morning, when we've got the patented Bruce Jenner Dingus enveloper. So, I'm not sure how this is going to cut this. Oh, it will do. Let's do it that way. Is it going to clean it? Oh. One of them. It ain't quick, but it gets the job done. Actually, that saw has been invaluable. It's cut every angle that we've needed to cut, and it's cut them really well. Like I say, it's not very quick, but it's really good. It's going to work for me. Cut the other end. That's the first rail on. Now I actually thought I'd put the camera on, and for some reason it switched itself off. So I'm going to go and weld the other side. But there's my tree rails, my rub rails down each side. It's, yeah, they're not bending them. It's all done at last. 2 days of welding. Got all the angle in now. I went and fetched some of that, got that welded in, so that's good. The back for where the lights are going, that looks quite cool. I like that. It's, like I said, it's having pretty much 2 tombstone lights, which are going to be like that. Number plate in the centre, and that's it across the back really. And if you want to know the dimensions, it's Hang on. Trying to think of 1700 by 1500, I think. It might be 18 by, no, it's 18 by 15. In fact, I think that's wrong as well. Let's get the tape measure. Hang on. I think it's, I don't think, I'll actually tell you. Hang on. And I've got a tape measure in my hand. (18 by 16). There you go. 18 by 16. So it's wider than it is long, and it's quite a bit wider than it is long. So what have I got left to do on this now? Right, I've got to fabricate somewhere for the fuel tank to go. Sorry, fuel tank filler has got to go somewhere here, because there's the fuel tank down there. Actually, it's going to go somewhere here, isn't it? Because it comes off the front of the fuel tank. So it's going to be somewhere here, the filler. So I've got to fabricate something for that. Basically, I can't do that till it's in, because I need the tank in place. So I need to paint it all first, and I'm not going to dry fit the tank and do that. I'll do it all after, and then make a bracket to go here to hold the filler. And I've got to make a bracket for the water tank filler on the other side. It's going to go somewhere here in this corner, I think. Actually, it can go anywhere, the water tank filler. It could go back here and just run over to the tank. It makes no difference. Whatever's easiest to get it in, really. So what I'm going to do now, clean this down, get a coat of primer on it, ready for prior to paint. And then I'm going to clean the LongRanger kit down as well. Because hopefully on Saturday I can get it painted. Dusty, but if not, it'll get done quite within the next week. Because I really want this out the workshop. If you noticed, I cleaned the workshop. Look, it's tidy. We can get round that killing ourselves. But just going to give this a wipe down with some panel wipe to get the travelling grease off it, and get a coat of primer on it. Keep the rust away. Hey, look at that! All the bare steel's got a coat of primer on it. That doesn't look too bad, does it? I quite like that. Right, that's pretty much now ready for prepping for proper paint. All that's doing is keeping away the rust from starting on the bare metal. It's all been cleaned down, so Saturday I'll get the DA out. I'll DA all the panels down that need painting, clean everything up, and we're going to spray it a really, really dark grey as a base coat for the black Raptor that's going on. Wow, what a difference. We're definitely getting there, guys. That looks awesome.
Garage, and today it's all about U-Pole Raptor paint, often known. See, this, we're going to have this all day now with this chainsaw going. Yeah, near the birds. The compressor, you all know what a compressor is, but the freaking
guy with the chainsaw up a tree.
Yeah.
If we shoot him and he falls on his chainsaw, I think it'll hide the bullet wound.
Yeah, could do. Makes such a mess of it. You alright?
I'm fine. No, I'm used to boiling, Chris.
That's got to be the opening sequence.